Potato chips are everyone's favorite, and homemade potato chips taste so much better than store bought. But what if you could make them in a fancy way and serve it to your guests, and it shows the care and love you have put on making them? Today's recipe is such a kind. It's a homemade deep fried potato chips, but made in a very simple way, but it looks gorgeous when you serve them. So if you're ready, we can get started with this simple but elegant style. Let's get started with the key ingredient, which is potatoes. Now, when choosing potatoes, it's better if you choose the long ones because that's going to give you the best shapes. First, you want to take the skin off. I have three medium-sized potatoes here. You can go with medium to large, but don't go for smaller potatoes. Next, you want to slice them. Now, my slicer has three blades, which makes it a little bit difficult for me to slice them. What you want to do is get longer slices because that will give you nicer curly chips in the end. The sliced potatoes should be very thin and they should be almost translucent. Okay, my slicing is all done. Now we gotta go to the next step, which is taking the starch out of these potatoes. All you wanna do is put some cold water and wash them once or twice to get rid of all the starch. Now, when you wash them, you'll see that a lot of starch is coming out of it and drain it. It's quite important for this recipe that you wash the potato slices because if they have starch, they're not going to be very crispy and they will just try to stick to one another. Okay, I'm taking it out in a bowl, and the next thing is you want to lay them on kitchen towel. So you just want to get rid of the moisture that you have on the slices, and using two tissue papers does the job. I mean, two kitchen towels. So I've laid them, and then on top I'm putting another one to get rid of any moisture that is present on these potato slices. It's all done. Now you want to lay them flat on a surface, and from all the slices you have got, you want to use the bigger one, the taller ones. Okay, now that all of them are laid, you want to sprinkle some cornstarch, and for that I like to use a sieve. It just makes the work so much easier. Once you have put cornstarch on the slices, now you want to put a second layer of slices, and for that you want to use a little bit smaller ones, so medium to small. And after the second slices are on top, you want to put cornstarch again. So there's a lot of cornstarch, but that will help us to get crispy and nice curly potato fries. Next comes the fun part, and that's rolling these potatoes. So all you want to do is roll them like this, and you want to have some toothpicks handy and put them at the center, making sure that both the slices are inside the toothpick. And this is a fun part. I like to do it, and these will give you a nice, very nice fancy shape. Okay, once all your potato slices are rolled and toothpicks are put in, then you want to take them into another separate bowl. Just keep it handy. Now we are going to deep fry them. I like to do it batch by batch. So I take one batch and then fry them and do the next batch. So pot in a pan and putting some oil for deep frying. And when oil is hot, you want to put all your fancy potato slices one by one. But there is one thing you want to make sure, and that's giving it space. If you overcrowd the pan, then they won't get nice and crispy. So you want to make sure there is some room to help you rotate them. You want to turn them from time to time, but don't overdo that. They can break. Once they get some golden color, you want to take them off from the oil and make sure you strain it nicely because there could be a lot of extra oil. Take it out on a tissue lined paper and then transfer them to another bowl where you want to season them. Now, I have used a little bit of salt, a little bit of garlic powder, some black pepper powder, and some dried parsley. But sky is the limit. You can use your own imagination and put any dried seasoning that you prefer. Make sure you toss it well so that everything is nicely coated on the chips. And now your fancy curly potato fries are all ready. These are really crispy, and cornstarch gives them really nice crispiness. Making these potato chips are going an extra mile, and probably you won't do it all the time, but when you serve guests or serve party food, these looks amazing. You can serve any sauce or ketchup of your choice, and they look amazing on the plate. So when you serve these to your guests, they will feel like you have put a lot of effort on that. Let me know your thoughts about these curly potato chips, and a thumbs up will be very much appreciated.